so there's a meeting of the minds, like, Mr. Magistrate Bradshaw said, he didn't understand, I think there's just confusion as to what really goes on. And you get all the parties together to talk about it like that.
Yeah, the thing that I can do is call a special meeting, which would legally allow all of us to get together. So that's the one thing I can do.
I mean, I don't know how serious this is, but
Now, I've called special meeting before. It wasn't this court, it was the court in my first term. And maybe one magistrate showed up. Again, that was the court in my first term. So, you know, you got to have people on board with that. But yeah, I mean, I can do that.
I mean, I'm just offering it as, it's confusing to me what, you know, how the whole thing works, so maybe not to anybody else.
Any response to Bill?
What is the issue? The only issue is that you don't know what vehicle I'm putting the fuel in? Is that the issue?
Yes, for me, it is.
Well, when you look on our monthly report, it gives the vehicle, and we'd love to be able to put the vehicle with gas.
I can give you a copy of the receipt. I get one every time I get gas, and I write on there what vehicle it goes in. Yeah, I could write Blue Mustang if I wanted to, but we don't have them. You have, in other words, you got to take my word for what I'm buying fuel.
That'd be fine, just do that.
I can give you a copy of every one of them since we've got this system in place.
Right, okay.
I probably got 1,000 of them.
Well, we're on 12/9 to 12/15 is what this one is, as far as date wise, this printout.
You don't want me to bring it to the next fiscal court meeting?
I've got one right here, because like I said, it's for the white sat van, I filled it up yesterday. This is what I get every time I fill it up. It's got my number on it, 3351, it doesn't tell you what it is.
Hoping to get
It's
fixed
vehicle
folks over there, and that ain't
I
fair.
write on top of it.
I give a shit to squabble, and over getting a burner car and a lake in the
I
road.
have one more question, if you don't mind,
Sure.
just for my clarification. You said something a minute ago, which, if I understood you right, you said you plug in that black plastic key, and then you key in your code numbers? Because I was under the impression as soon as you plug that key in, that code was in that key, and the pump just read that key.
No, you have to put your code.
So
You gotta put your number in. Anybody can use this key.
so it's just like a key that just turns the pump on, and then anybody,
It
somebody
gives
else
you
can
the
go.
right to enter your code, that's all the key does, give you the right to enter your code.
And if you get your code number away, then anybody can do
Right.
it, as long as they have a key.
So the key doesn't really have anything to do with who's doing it. So that's where I misunderstood the system, because I thought each key was coded to that code number. It'd be just like a big barcode, like say everybody had a swipe card or something. And it was identified to you and you own it, and someone stole your card and you report it, that kind of thing. But these keys are just plastic keys that just enables you to put in the code, and you can put it in anybody's code. That's what you want to get somebody in trouble.
Or, you know,
And that's how come the day that I was asked whose code number that was, I didn't know because everybody has their individual codes. So I have no way of knowing what his code is, the whole system thing is. I'm not supposed to know what it is. And, but, and nobody's supposed to know what mine is. Whoever builds vehicles, that's whose code goes into that.
So the security.
Whether it's one in my car or maybe mine's code.
The system works because everybody has their own code, and you're not supposed to talk to each other about who's got what code. Theoretically. So is anybody, okay, that's, the one you have is called the override key. Now, I'm wondering, is it made any different than anybody else's?
yeah, it is, it's made different on the little, it got a little,
Yeah, that's what I would say. That's why I thought it was coded to you.
little
By
pin.
changing the pin.
Are they coded to the vehicles? Are they
Some are.
coded the keys or coded to the vehicles?
Some,
Okay. Okay, so it
The
is.
individual key, like if it's mine, we code it to my vehicle.
Okay,
Like,
so
Robert, but it may be Robert pumping the gas into my vehicle. That's why I'm saying when they drive my vehicle over, it's not on the override key because they drive my vehicle over. And it may be Robert, it may be Pace, it may be, you said Robert or
So,
Ronnie or
so the
something like that.
plastic key is embedded with a code that ties it to that vehicle,
On the regular keys.
on the regular cars,
The regular cars.
other vehicles.
I'm the only one that has override, the only one. And I probably created all this problem, but didn't realize it at the time.
Not sure it's all necessarily, but anyway, that's what the confusion is, when it comes up override, we don't know who has the key.
Well, the override was, the only intention of the override was to give me the right to buy diesel or regular gas. Because of the diesel vehicles, on occasion I have to put them on. That was the only reason for the override. But it also allowed me to go, it doesn't care what vehicle I put it in, that's the issue. I could have the regular key hanging in the key ring in the ignition and use my other key, override key, to put gas in.
Right, and it will come up under your account instead of the vehicle.
My number's listed on it, no matter what.
Any other discussion concerning the detention center?
No, I'd like to know when Mr. Hunt gets his bids for the roof, so that I can be aware of it. I have to coordinate this with whoever's coming.
I'll get you a copy.
Because I have to coordinate with them to get them on the roof.
Oh,
They
okay.
better not get on the roof without me knowing it. They may find it in. I have to be aware of it.
No problem.
That's all I have.
Okay, we do have another question from an audience member. Sandy, go ahead.
Well, see, I'm confused because
Sandy,
now,
you stand up.
where are we on this override key? Is it all okay now?
Yes,
It's okay. So this was all, but now it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not okay, but I'm going another route, so.
we're gonna take care of it.
I'll get her
It may not be okay another day. Is that what you're saying? But today it's okay.
Not quite, no.
Gary, did you have a question?
I just know when I worked for AT&T, this is for all these little gadgets you just plug in. We had like a credit card that we could go to various locations in the city to buy gas for the vehicle. But the card stayed with the vehicle. And we had it printed out, and we had to write the mileage down each time we used that vehicle. And we signed our name, and we had, similar what this gentleman has, paper copies. And every so often, they would go out and get all these paper copies and check. And if there looked like there was a problem, then it was brought to our attention. But normally, we were assigned a vehicle that we used unless we were on vacation, and somebody else could use it. Each time gas was put in, you had a code that you had to put in that said you were the driver that got this gas, and it went into this vehicle because each vehicle had its own card. And then the driver had to sign it. And we never had any kind of problems like this, so I don't know if that helps or makes it worse, but here's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Gary. Any comment or any questions for Gary? Okay. All right, then this takes care of the detention center issues for this week, other than, as far as residential. Anything else? True, or?
Oh, the grinder.
Okay.
I talked to Mr. Hatfield, I don't know if he's still here, I don't see him anywhere. Apparently, there was some confusion over what was actually wrong with the grinder. The grinder was broken all to pieces, it consumed itself when one of its teeth broke off and it ground it all up together. It was a $6,000 repair. And there were some issues that the only thing wrong with it was the top. Well, the top, there was nothing wrong with the top of it. But the grinder was destroyed. It was over $6,000 repaired. I sent pictures over here. Special effort to get those pictures made and printed and over here in time so you guys will be aware of what went on.
Okay. Is this a cannibalistic grinder?
On that particular occasion, it wasn't.
A cannibalistic grinder?
Well, they call them muffin grinders,
The sanitation guy from the city went over there and looked at, he's one that said that all that was needed was the top on the motor.
but there was nothing wrong with the motor at all. we had the entire grinder removed, torn apart and repaired.
I mean, that's what I showed y'all pictures of, that day was the grinder. I mean, as I was in fiscal court, they were in the process of, road department came over and lowered it up out of the actual sewer. And, so that's what I showed. When the city came down there, they didn't know why they were even there.
2 city guys showed up from the sewer department.
Because I called her in Hatfield and
And I said, what are you doing here? Well, I don't
They
know.
told them to go look at it, to see what they thought was wrong.
It was repaired.
That's what you said when you come in here with that, after we had sent them over there. You said that they were over there and we do need a lid.
No, I said that they were checking it out that morning because they had heard a sound and they had been watching it because they didn't think it was right. The 2 maintenance guys didn't think it was right. So they were out there pulling the lid up and was gonna put the lid back down. But I didn't know anything, I knew something was wrong with it. I don't know what's wrong with the lid. You said that all it was a lid. Well, I knew it was more than a lid. You should have known it was more than a lid because I showed you the pictures of what it was prior to it happening.
Taylor, again, what do you need as far as the grinder goes?
We just let you know how much it did cost. It was $6,000, and it was more than the lid that was saying it was at first. It was the actual grinder.
The grinder runs 24/7, 365. Every day, and then they send uniforms to it, bed sheets, cell phones.
I think it was probably just a misunderstanding.
It could,
The grinder had been fixed.
Yes.
And then they come by and they say, well, it's all on it. It's
Right,
not, it's not.
exactly.
And then it was done, you know, so I think that was just a misunderstanding.
All right. Anything else? Okay, thank you all so
Thank you.
much. Magistrate, do you have any questions? Okay. Let's move on to new business number 2. Action is requested on CACO documentation regarding judicial center lease agreement. Do you have any questions concerning this?
There's no substantive changes, even the payment schedule's not changed, it's just the locking in.
Yes, I spoke with Sue Lake and Kate Cohen, that's what she explained to me, that this was all just basically so our interest rates would be locked in. You just need approval.
Permission for me to sign it, yes.
I'd like a motion to give the judge permission to sign the case code documentation regarding the future within central lease agreement.
Thank you, Magistrate.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Magistrate. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Ms. Brandon, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashbrook?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Garber?
Yes. Motion carries. And magistrates number 3, under new business, we simply have to present the Bullock County Sanitation District Auditor's Report. No action is needed. So, Ms. Brandon, for the record, you know how to state that. Okay. Magistrates, this was not on your agenda, let me ask Ms. Brandon if we are supposed to present this to the court?
Actually, as I said, about the sheriff's settlement,
This right here?
Oh, I can just put it to
I think it just needs to be put on record.
It doesn't have to be voted on. So for the record, the presentation of the sheriff's settlement for 2012 taxes has been recorded, and that came from Auditor Adam Eaton's office. Okay. We have one executive session, Yes, ma'am, yes, go right ahead.
May I have one of 3 minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
She's waiting.
She has, do we have to go into executive session?
Yes, ma'am.
We do have to go into executive session. And tell us your name.
My name is Carol Riker. I'm an associate professor at Fiscal College of Nursing, and I work also with the policy there. So I have come to tell everyone on having your county building smoke-free because it's such a huge risk of cancer and heart disease for the workers. And I think that you, now that you voted, I can say that if you could do that, of course, without those sections 2 and 4, unless your intent is to nullify the Board of Health regulation if it comes out of the Supreme Court. If you could take the 2 and 4 sections off of 1332 and accomplish your purpose of protecting your workers, and that would be important to do. All workers, however, in the county need to be protected, as many of the speakers have said this morning. The air quality here, and indoor air quality in Gwinnett County is like 42 times, but it is lower than that. There are 42 times more air pollution indoors. So, and I think if any of you have any doubts about secondhand smoke, I would encourage you to Google the 2010 Surgeon General's report, The Consumer Guide. It will show you that secondhand smoke immediately goes throughout your body in the bloodstream. It damages the DNA leading to cancer. It damages the linings of the lungs and the linings of the blood vessels. So the workers, I'd like to focus us on health and safety then of the workers in Bullitt County because a smoke-free regulation is simply another health and safety regulation. I mean, businesses have all sorts of regulations. They can't chain up the back door so that the workers can't get out. They have to obey the fire code. There's lots of health and safety regulations. I would urge you not to do smoking rooms because the smoke goes everywhere. Simple separation and separate smoking rooms do not work. It goes through the ventilation to the whole building. And also the people opening and closing the doors. So it just simply does not work. The first part of that 61 days was probably written before we really knew that it's not going to still work. So, I'd like to call your attention to the fact that it is a disparities issue, that most of us get to work and it's not free environment. And but yet some of our blue-collar workers, low-income workers, they don't really have a choice of where they work, like patrons have a choice of where they, what they pay for. And so I want you to think about people you know that have heart disease or at risk for heart disease, who have a job where they have to work and smoke. It can cause a heart attack. While the Board of Health regulation is laying dormant, we could say 56 heart attacks in Bullitt County. We could say 22% a year or whatever your asthma emergency room visits are. Lexington has saved like $21 million in healthcare costs. So it's benefited in other ways besides that as a county. In fact, I want you to think about young women who are working in hospitality environments or in factories or in convenience stores. The breast tissue is especially vulnerable to secondhand smoke, so they may have breast cancer before they even nurse their family. People that have heart disease, as we already mentioned, think of those people. And I hope that the citizens will ask for a health card in a very, very clear way, and that I experience what other communities experience with. It helps with the start, and it saves a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, you're just a caterer. Thank you very much for taking time to be here today. And I do appreciate hearing from folks who advocate for their cause. So I thank you very much.
I signed up to speak.
Oh, yes, you did. And I'm so sorry. So it is your time, Sam.
Okay.
Come on up to the podium, please.
Can I stand here?
Yes, you may.
Well, several weeks ago, I was here and, I think Mr. Bradshaw, you reported to fiscal court about anonymous people with the, making sweeping accusations of any discrepancies in the jailer's office. And due to the fact that some of you all were threatened physically, and, was fearful to go over there and get the reports, you were going to hire someone, you had voted unanimously to hire someone to go over and get, check all those discrepancies in the books or whatever. Have you done that? Have they been hired? Can I have their report?
I think since that happened, the jailer didn't want any of us over there. Told us so.
So, I mean,
She's suing us.
oh, so we need to keep you from finding the answers to,
She's suing us. She's just suing the fiscal court.
I thought that was over the HIP.
Specifically, yes.
But I'm asking about the person that you were gonna hire to go over and look at her books. And I heard her say, come on over, they're over. And you were gonna hire someone to go look at those books because some of you had got personal threats.
We also bought a scanner to go over and scan them ourselves, and then we were told, no, we were not allowed to go there.
But
She said we,
okay, but I'm asking, the question I'm asking is, the person you hired, can I have their report?
we didn't hire anyone. I said, but then we bought a scanner, and was gonna do it ourselves, and she said, no, we couldn't come over there. So we didn't hire anyone.
She actually told you all, I mean, I didn't hear that at fiscal court.
Yes, she did. No, she probably not, but we got the scanner, not during court. We ordered it, and then we got it, and she said, no, you're not coming over here. So she got her attorney, and she sued me.
Okay, so then you didn't hire somebody. Now, did you drop that?
Well, it says in our budget, well, no, was nobody to do. It was not.
Oh, well, that was misled. I didn't, because I've only heard her say her books were open records. It would be impossible for her to bring them all to you, and you want to even copies of receipts, I think you said. So you all have a lawsuit issue where you can't go in there and get those records. Is that what you're telling me?
Not what she's got an attorney to do.
She has an attorney to stop you from looking at those records.
She's got an attorney as soon as you come here in a lawsuit, you have to okay everything through the attorney. And the attorney won't go out, and she done said, no, we couldn't come over there.
Oh, so you weren't allowed to hire anybody. They would be able to go through. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right, that's what I'm saying.
Thank you all. And the next, I will say,
Make a motion to go into executive session under KRS 61.18, paragraph 1, subparagraph C, discussions of pending litigation against and on behalf of the public agency involving the jailer's lawsuit of Vincent County.
and may I ask for 5 extra minutes so I can use the restroom? Yeah, me too. Thank you.
Yes.
At least Her husband passed away. So.
And that easement.
Close out, okay.
Do you all want to wait for each other, or do you want to go ahead and adjourn? It's up to you all.
He was talking.
Go ahead and adjourn, Joe.
We're not doing
Well, we
that.
gotta do, you gotta tell them, Roy Cross said,
But nothing happened.
no, nothing was,
No action.
no action was taken.
Go back in and session her fund.
No, we didn't.
We didn't go back
I
in.
made a motion to go back into session.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Brandon, you call the roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo? Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Now say it.
I said, what?
But no action.
Oh, no action was taken.
Okay.
Any
Well, we were in session.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Yes. We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Brandon, you call the roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo's not here. Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
You ready to go home?
Yeah.